Why is the GTA 6 leak happening, I hear, all over the internet right now? Why is there a single account on Twitter that is seemingly releasing boatloads of clips from Grand Theft Auto 6? As the entire world that Rockstar has built burns to cinders around them, the story is complicated, but it's an interesting one for sure. So in case you don't know somehow, yeah, GTA 6 has leaked, again, this time from a build somewhere close to how the game operated in 2025. We know this because some of the clips that have leaked online that I obviously can't show here feature songs that have released in 2025 as well. And it's all because of this one account here, as you can see, that is called CyberLeak. Yes, a literal leak vegetable in a cyber suit, whose bio says that they're fighting for gamers' rights. So what exactly is going on? Well, it comes down to two things specifically: consumer rights and a meme coin. Let's start with the first one, as PC Gamer reported here. CyberLeak is claiming to be leaking all of this GTA 6 content because they want Rockstar and Take-Two to apologize for anti-consumerism practices. And the belief is that CyberLeak is doing this to strong-arm the video games industry into treating customers better by purposely leaking anything that they can get their hands on to ruin these future big game releases in order to force compliance out of all of these companies. CyberLeak also released a manifesto, if you can believe it, as to what they plan to do and what they want. So let's read the first part here. CyberLeak has been patient, that patience is over. What follows are 3 commandments. If CyberLeak targets a publisher, it is because that publisher broke one. CyberLeak will not stop until they issue a public statement and apology with a concrete commitment to be better. Words are not enough, restitution is mandatory. They continued, these 3 commandments are the floor, not the ceiling, of what is acceptable. If publishers violate them, they will be targeted. CyberLeak will continue to disrupt their operations until they issue a public statement and apology with a concrete commitment to fix the harm they caused. No private negotiations, no quiet settlements. The public sees it, or if the leaks do not stop, publishers should beware. If CyberLeak can reach Rockstar, no one is safe. This is a message to all big corporations: behave properly or be the next target. This is CyberLeak's edict, and it is non-negotiable. So the 3 commandments this CyberLeak is issuing as non-negotiable are, as you can see here, commandment 1 is thou shalt not sell digital pre-orders. The idea here is no digital game can be released until there is an independent review of some kind, and physical versions of games must continue to be created. The second commandment is thou shalt not sell fake single-player DLC. So you know how when you buy a game, and say it has an expansion or bonus DLC, and you buy the unlock to access that data, and the game doesn't actually download anything new because the data is obviously already in the thing you bought, it's just locked until you pay extra. Yeah, they want that whole practice gone. They believe if you buy the game, the data is already there. Therefore, no data can be locked away from extra purchases because it is, in CyberLeak's opinion, anti-consumer. The third commandment is, as you can see, thou shalt preserve single-player content. The idea here is that what CyberLeak is demanding is essentially what Stop Destroying Games is advocating for. However, they're not giving companies the option here really to fight back on this. If a game is always online and goes offline, we've seen this happen many times, there has to be a single-player version of that game that can exist and still be playable. And this, in CyberLeak's opinion, is also non-negotiable as well. So CyberLeak then plans to force the games industry into compliance is really what's going on here. Will it work? Who knows? But so far, Rockstar hasn't commented on anything. But the reality is that CyberLeak is 100% releasing unreleased footage, which is all over the internet now. And it's gotten so bad that other accounts are now popping up claiming to also be CyberLeak, and they are releasing AI-generated videos of GTA 6, claiming them to be real. So you can imagine how this entire thing has gone off the deep end really quickly because, well, it's the internet. Who are we kidding? CyberLeak also posted their meme coin, which has skyrocketed in value already following all of these leaks. The idea, from what I can gather, is CyberLeak is crowdfunding crowdfunding money from users via this meme coin to gain access to more powerful ways of hacking even more companies, if you can believe it. But if CyberLeak is already able to hack into Rockstar's servers, which should have been more secure than Fort Knox, I mean, who is even safe from this sort of thing then? Anyone who then badmouths these hackers, I guess, will just fall to their sword before long too. I did see posts like this on Twitter where it's claimed but not confirmed that the apparent ending of Grand Theft Auto 6's story has been secured by hackers. And they are now dangling this in front of Rockstar's faces like a carrot as a way to force them into compliance. Which, if that's true, that is nuclear levels of bad. If that sort of thing leaked, I mean, that would set GTA 6 back at least a year from release and then some. Rockstar would then have to go back and, change everything to something else. It's damaging, but that is what's currently happening. And we all know that if the ending of GTA 6 did leak, that would spread like wildfire. We would all see it even if we didn't want to. There were also rumors being spread, but again, I'm not 100% sure about this, but if they are legit, but anyways, that allegedly GTA 6 will also have its own currency similar to what Roblox has. Which, if you don't know, Roblox's in-game currency is essentially a currency that can be applied and transferred to be like real-world functioning, if you will. You can't buy, let's say, food with Robux from Roblox, but the idea is that, yeah, you can convert it into real money through other means, or people will just pay you for the Roblox money in the game, which people obviously do these days, as there are also creators who make things in Roblox and make a living off of it if you didn't know. So allegedly, GTA 6 is going to have something similar to that, where I'm guessing here, since we don't know the specifics yet, but I would assume you can get this GTA money in the game from playing, maybe establishing real shops in the game's world, or through other means, and people would just wire each other real money for the conversion rates for this in-game currency instead. I mean, again, lots of games do this already. It's not something new. I mean, even Diablo 3 back in the day had a real money auction house, which was very controversial and eventually got removed by Blizzard. But again, that's a rumor. It's everywhere. Maybe it's real. And if it is, oh boy, things are going to get messy, fellas. CyberLeak, however, via their Discord has, as seen here, started to bait Rockstar, saying that they know that they're online and see what they're doing, and that they're throwing out nursery rhymes like they're the Riddler to bait Rockstar into doing something. It's getting kind of wild, fellas. Here's part of what CyberLeak's manifesto said as to what they plan to do and why this is happening, as it reads. Publishers sell licenses and call them purchases. They ship unfinished games and call them living services. They lock content on discs and call it DLC. They ruin games and keep the money. Every year, anti-consumerism tightens its grip, and every year gamers get less for what they pay. As PC Gamer says it here, CyberLeak's meme coin is being used to fund future infrastructure to ensure that they have the needed power to strike and protect themselves against future corporate counterattacks. Assuming that CyberLeak somehow survives this whole ordeal and isn't found and tossed in the gulag by Rockstar and their lawyers or hit by an ICBM, this sort of thing could spread everywhere like a virus. No company in theory could then be safe from hackers that, in their words, don't respect the paying customer. I would only assume if Rockstar is not their next target, that PlayStation itself would be another obvious thing because of all the whole physical media removal idea. And we could likely see, if CyberLeak wanted to, find out future PlayStation projects or other critical information and leak it too. I mean, Sony has been hacked aplenty in the past already, as has Rockstar. If you remember about 2 years ago, hours worth of content from Rockstar got leaked online. The same thing happened to Insomniac Games, which is owned by PlayStation. The hackers over there found out about Spider-Man 3, the canceled live service Spider-Man game, the Venom game, an X-Men game, and much more, right? This is all over the internet already. These things can and will leak. And I guess the more companies don't value or respect a paying customer, the more that's going to become their new reality. Because it both empowers the public, yet damages what can reasonably be done through legal channels when things like this keep happening. It can and it will give these companies the ability to strong-arm further policies to remove control from users if these companies' stabilities are at risk. So it's not as simple as, oh yeah, this is great. I mean, even Stop Destroying Games has stated that they do not support what CyberLeak is doing here at all. Even though they both kind of want the same thing, their methods are on wildly different sides. It's like Punisher and Daredevil pretty much is what's going on here. As Eurogamer said it here, SKG is openly opposing CyberLeak's methods when it comes to pushing for the return to physical media and just how they're going about everything. As seen here from SKG's official Twitter, they are telling telling people to stop giving CyberLeak any money for their meme coin, and that the DMC hits are not worth the risk of sharing these clips around on the internet, which is also why in this video there is zero leaked gameplay of what has been shown for very obvious reasons. SKG said more though, using illegal means to make a point is unacceptable to us and does nothing to protect our right to keep using what we paid for. No matter how strongly you disagree with the decisions of upper management at these companies, there are still thousands of developers who worked hard on this project, and they're the ones being hit the hardest. They said more. Channel that frustration into something constructive instead. This kind of act is destructive and helps no one. Worse, it risks tarnishing the reputation of our communities and our chances to make change. History isn't on the leaker side either. The last person who did this to Rockstar back in 2022 ended up with an indefinite hospital order. This isn't a cause worth risking your money or your future on. I do agree that the way these leaks have gone down is not exactly going to help the cause of, say, bringing back physical games media or anything like that. Largely speaking, what this will do is one thing and one thing only, which is chaos for like everyone involved. But before you say I'm on the side of SKG or anyone else, let me just explain. Okay, let me explain this because it's a lot more complicated than that, okay? Rockstar is not going to suddenly release millions of physical discs with GTA 6 because of these leaks. They know that if they did have a physical version of GTA 6 at all, that would be leaked in its entirety prior to release 100%, and we all know this. There will be some shop somewhere that would break their street date and start selling copies if customers began waving enough money in their faces, right? It happened all the time back in the day. With other big games, right? How many times has a Call of Duty game leaked online before? Like, it happened all the time. But Rockstar likely went digital because they wanted more control. That's true. But the key reason was to control the game from being leaked. But I'm not going to defend them for that, but that's likely the reason why. But it can't be understated that what Rockstar has been doing here has still started a tidal wave that has begun a domino effect of their own making. They're a big target. It makes sense for hackers to lock onto them. But I do think whether it's ethical or not, these sorts of groups, they will continue to attack people like a Rockstar because it rattles the cages. It gets people talking, which it obviously does. I mean, I'm talking about it right now. And based on how much that meme coin has jumped already, even if the leaks end up doing nothing, this CyberLeak person is going to make a bank either way. Am I against CyberLeak? No, not at all. I have no control over what they do, and they're allowed to do whatever they think is right. But either way, I don't see this situation ending in a happy way. It's either going to end with someone going to jail or the gates of literal oblivion being pulled off their hinges and just all hell breaking loose. Just looking at the comments on SKG's post, as you can see here, people are advocating that what they are doing by leaking things is morally the right thing to do. But what CyberLeak has done, will that actually result in any meaningful change or just like I said, more chaos? Although, based on the comments here on the post, many other people have zero sympathy for Rockstar, and they're disappointed in anyone trying to back these corporations when they are, and by large, the reason why we're in these messes to begin with. This is why, for me personally, I don't feel any type of way by these leaks. I think it's a natural reaction to the absolute state of the games industry. But I do think that SKG is right that things like this are going to hurt their cause specifically, because what is happening can and will be used against us when it comes to our rights as consumers in the future. The companies are going to use this chaos as a way to prove that such laws do need to exist forever in order to ensure that the integrity of content in the future isn't leaked or ruined. But do I personally feel sympathy for Rockstar due to these leaks? Not really, no. I can already imagine that GTA 6 is going to be crazy predatory when it comes to its online mode. If that Roblox real currency rumor is real, I have even less sympathy then too, because personally, once GTA 6 drops, finally, it will change the games industry, and I really don't think it's going to be for the better. A game of this magnitude touting what it's pushing, selling tens of millions of copies out of the gate, is just going to cause the executives who are already out of touch to just further double down on really stupid ideas that nobody wants to see more of. If GTA 6 drops, right, and they end up having some Roblox-like currency that can be converted. Well, how long is it going to be before Fortnite or Call of Duty and more try to do similar things, right? As if we need more games siphoning people's time, money, and sanity, but that's what's going to happen. If you think the games industry is going to learn anything positive from the release of GTA 6, you're unfortunately crazy. All this game is going to do is amplify and enforce the worst possible behaviors from the most out-of-touch people in suits imaginable. We already saw how disastrous live service as a concept has been to so many games already. The entire PS5 generation is cooked because Sony has cared more about making their own Fortnite clones over what they're known for, single-player games. If GTA 6 does what I think it's going to do, it'll make every game demonstrably worse by the existence of its own success. And if we really think that Rockstar cares about our well-being or our rights as consumers, unfortunately, you're being delusional. They don't care at all. They're selling the complete edition of the game for $100 American, for God's sakes. They know what they're doing. They are going to make off like bandits, and they fully expect everyone to jump through as many hoops as possible that they put in front of us just to get the opportunity to play this game. If anything, what CyberLeak is doing here is the reaction to a system that has just abandoned us for the glory of the bottom dollar. People like an SKG are trying to legally find ways to protect video games, but it's very obvious that the companies do not want us to have those rights in the first place. It doesn't mean that I'm advocating for more CyberLeak-like events or people, right? But the reality is when the politicians and the executives are openly stating that they don't care about our well-being or rights, candidly, right? They expect us to show them by their games anyways. What did we expect was going to happen here? The extreme reaction of leaking GTA was done simply because places like a Rockstar and Take-Two, which owns them, were being just perfectly fine, right? With the idea of no more physical discs, locking cosmetic content and more behind the more expensive edition and then some. If anything, this idea of hackers hacking more companies, it will become the de facto way that people get their voices heard. It's not going to matter if that's a good idea or not, because it's already happening. This is the logical next step, unfortunately, for people who are just fed up, and we can't stop them from destroying things. It is an unfortunate situation, depending on who you care about more, but it still circles to the same conclusion, which is that these companies did this to themselves. That's why I'm personally not worried if GTA 6's ending leaks online. Apparently, from what I saw on Twitter recently, Lucia's ending is going to leak possibly in the next few hours. That CyberLeak guy allegedly claims to already have Lucia's ending on the video, and all they need to do, right, is share it on Discord or somewhere else, and boom, it's going to be everywhere. Everyone's going to share it. And that's going to anger a lot of people, but not really me. Look at the absolute state of the gaming industry right now. Look how crazy GTA 6 has got everyone else moving. All these games coming out shoulder to shoulder like packed sardines just to avoid GTA. And for what? Many of the upcoming games won't do as well because they don't have the space to breathe. How is Control Resonant or something like Onimusha Way of the Sword meant to sell as well as they could have, knowing that they're all releasing alongside Blood of Dawnwalker and more in the exact same time release windows pretty much? They can't. If GTA 6 were to get delayed again, it would suck for Rockstar fans, yeah, absolutely, but it would be much needed breathing room for everyone else that has games coming out. Stuff could then be moved from September or October this year to November, right? Games that are going to flop due to the sheer volume of choice might actually do way better if GTA just doesn't come out this year. But if things proceed as planned, we're going to see studios closing down. Not because the games were even bad, but because GTA is all anyone's going to care about instead, and they'll just save their money for that. And what will that tell those studios who then tried something different? All it will tell them is they need to chase the same thing that Rockstar is. And that's how you end up with an industry all making safe by the numbers games again. There's no right answer here, guys. The whole situation is cooked. We're about to enter a nuclear winter with zombie hordes the way this mess is looking, right? It's going to be a massacre, and the only winner really will be GTA 6 and nobody else. That's scary, but it is what's going to happen. As Instant Gaming reported here, CyberLeak is threatening any and all game companies that if they don't start respecting consumers, they are at risk of losing everything to the internet as well. Should I feel bad if Activision gets some Call of Duty stuff leaked, or if Ubisoft gets hacked again? The same companies that have pushed predatory microtransactions or ruined franchises with modernity? Not really. These companies care about as much about us as they do about the ants that they step on every day on their way to work. This is just what's going to happen because the companies created this problem themselves and they didn't care. All they had to do was be honest and care about what your players were asking of you. They didn't, so what's happening is going to happen now. I've been telling these companies for years on this channel already, stop attacking your audience, stop ruining your franchises with nonsense. These companies need our money more than we need their games. We don't really have to buy anything new, do we? We all have backlogs. There's always another game to play that already exists and is likely far cheaper to buy as well. These companies don't listen though. They just believe that they can get away with anything that they want. Okay, I guess, but if you don't want to respect the people who keep your lights on, then the people who have the ability to ruin you are going to give you that same energy back. Like Rockstar's just the beginning. I bet they're going to go after others before long too. Pushquare quoted CyberLeak here where they said this is a message to all big corporations: behave or be the next target. I would be more on the corporation side if they weren't all such evil supervillains that want me to own nothing and be happy. But all they've done largely is prove that they don't care what we think and want us all to get on our knees and beg. I feel like I'm standing in front of a burning house and the executives are pleading for me to spray the water, call the fire department to save them, but like, why would I? What did Batman say in that one movie, right? I won't end you, but I don't have to save you either. Yeah, something along those lines. It's not my problem. Instead, I'd rather pull up a lawn chair with a nice cup of coffee and just watch the whole thing burn down if that's what it takes to change things. I'm not going to make myself an enemy of some hackers. Let them do what they're already going to do. If the companies want this to turn in their favor, I don't know, maybe stop being such greedy leeches then. Why would I side with the corporations? No thanks, I'm good. I understand where SKG is coming from, but the reality is that none of us can reasonably stop what CyberLeak or really anyone else is going to do either way. We are all by and large passive eyes watching everything get engulfed in gasoline and fire, and we don't have to save anyone. Things are going to get worse before they get better, that's for sure, but the be-all end-all reality is if companies don't want to lose money and years of hard work, then maybe start treating people better, you know? And that goes for your employees too. Apparently the Rockstar devs are doing crazy crunch time to make GTA 6 hit a deadline, and for what? So the CEO of Take-Two gets a larger bonus? That's why? This kind of reminds me of that other story from a few weeks ago as seen here from PC Gamers. So Andrew Wilson, the CEO of Electronic Arts, he got a really nice payday of tens of millions of dollars from the success of Battlefield 6, and despite that game doing well, what ended up happening? Alright, they laid off dozens of EA employees who saw none of that money, did they? I would have the exact same opinion if EA got hacked like Rockstar did. Oh no, not the billion-dollar corporation that treats talented developers like they're cannon fodder. Oh, the horror. Everyone, we have to think about Andrew Wilson, or I guess Strauss Zelnick in Rockstar's case, his bank accounts here. Now these CEOs are only going to make tens of millions instead of hundreds for these successful games from their pay bonuses. Well, we can't have that, can we? These guys need that money more than the developers do, I guess. Yeah, Andrew Wilson needs that 6th vacation home on the lake. Forget about the developers who got laid off despite delivering the best performing Battlefield game in the series and the highest selling game of 2025, no less. I guarantee you, when GTA 6 does inevitably come out, we're probably going to see people get let go too, but it's okay, guys, because now Strauss Zelnick can afford not one but 2 yachts, and that's really what this is all about, right? Look, I don't have any sympathy for these corporations. Them getting cooked or flayed alive doesn't make me happy or sad. I'm at a point where I'm ambivalent to all of it. Let it all burn down. Let everything in Western gaming as an industry crumble and be built from the ground up again. What's the alternative exactly? I get more games wanting me to pay extra, more games like a Wolverine or Spider-Man 2 where developers are self-sabotaging these games? Or I get more humiliation rituals like a Saros or Dragon Age Veilguard, or more games that demand that I play them 24/7, or they'll get taken offline and delisted while keeping all my money that I spent on it. You want my be-all end-all take here? Let it burn. All of it, to the cinders. The entire Western games industry, for the most part, could be reduced to ashes like it's the plot of Dark Souls 3. These people can be fighting over any flicker of flame they can find, desperately trying to evade the coming apocalypse. But I want them to know this deep in their hearts and minds that none of that needed to happen. The leaks, the layoffs, the backlash, all of it, if they just treated people like human beings instead of walking flesh wallets. So do I have sympathy for Rockstar and Take-Two? No. As far as I'm concerned, this was always going to happen anyways. You wanted to charge charge people extra for cosmetic shops in your GTA world. All of this is stupid to me. So if CyberLeak ends up leaking the entire game, I will genuinely feel nothing for any of this. Just let it all burn to the ground. The studios that actually care about their consumers are still going to exist. Your Hollow Knights, your Lords of the Fallens, your Larian, stuff like that will continue to thrive because at least they don't hate us like these other big companies do. Just let it all burn to cinders, guys. But what do you think? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to. Is this a bad situation, or are you just like me and you think it's just companies finding out in real time? Thanks for being here. I'll see you next time, and good luck to modern AAA. Because if Rockstar can be hacked, none of you guys are safe. Good luck.